If you are looking for a Buddhist community that is based on the Lotus Sutra, how about checking out the global Buddhist movement called Rissho Kosei-kai? One of the most effective ways to start learning about Rissho Kosei-kai is to hear the spiritual journeys of members. So, let's check it out. Welcome to Rissho Kosei-kai Chicago. This is the building where we used to have a Sunday service and all other activities before we start to have a joint sessions with New York Dharma Center. To celebrate Shakyamuni Buddha's birthday today, we will have a conversation with our Chicago members Bill and Jen about why they joined Rissho Kosei-kai. So thank you both for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Let me start with briefly talking about the birth of Shakyamuni Buddha and its impact on our lives. The Buddha Shakyamuni sought the spiritual path, attained his enlightenment, and listened to the suffering of others to teach and transform their lives. If none of them were happening 25 centuries ago in India, there would be no Buddhism today in the world. Without him, there would be no teaching of impermanence, no Lotus Sutra, and no Rissho Kosei-kai. It is thanks to Shakyamuni Buddha that we can taste the joy of being a Buddhist and transforming our everyday life into Buddhist practice today. With that in mind, let us hear a spiritual journey from the members of Rissho Kosei-kai Chicago. Jen, that was back in early 2016 or so? 2016.
Yeah.
When you, for the first time, reached out to Rissho Kosei-kai and joined our Sunday service. I still remember, you really enriched our whole conversation. It's been already 6 years. That really flies.
It does. It really does.
Bill, you found us online over a year ago. Do you still remember that the first day that we encountered?
No.
That was the day of your home enshrinement, and we realized on site, oh, I forgot to bring the gohonzon, the focus of devotion itself, the image. So Emily and I went home to take it, delaying the 2 hours, delaying the home enshrinement by 2 hours, and then we returned to your house with the gohonzon. You're very compassionate, and no worries, everything's gonna be fine. How about tasting some cookies? And so during that 2 hours, you were, making cookies for us from scratch, which was very delicious. With these backstories in mind, more to come probably in the conversation. I want to start with asking you some questions. Why did you join Rissho Kosei-kai? Were you both already a Buddhist practitioner back then? What were some of your life situations that made you decide to reach out to Rissho Kosei-kai and join? Can we start with Jen?
Yeah, so in 2016, I had a lot of troubles in my life. My father had passed away suddenly in a motorcycle accident. I was working my first full-time job, and I was having conflicts with my coworkers, my boss, and my mom, and pretty much everyone. And I remember feeling like there was a lot of pain in the world, and everything was horrible and all of that. And so my boyfriend, who's now my husband, he recommended I look into Buddhism because he said a lot of my views on the world, like emptiness and impermanence, are Buddhist viewpoints. And so I took him up on that, and I came over to Rissho Kosei-kai on that fateful day. And I walked in, and instantly I felt at home here, and everybody was extremely compassionate and caring for me. Like you said, that first day, I instantly felt like I was back where I belonged or something. So, but I was not Buddhist before Rissho Kosei-kai, and now I am.
How about you, Bill?
So I reached out to Rissho Kosei-kai a little over a year ago. I've been practicing Buddhism on my own for about 18 years or so, and I just reached the point where I really wanted to find a community of other people who shared my viewpoints in the world, other Buddhists to discuss things with, to learn things from.
So tell me more about your experience with Rissho Kosei-kai. What is one moment of joy in your spiritual growth that you achieved between joining Rissho Kosei-kai and today? Why did that particular spiritual achievement feel joyful to you?
The top moment of spiritual joy I have is my daily recitation practice at home. I find having the altar as the center of my home, as well as chanting daily with the right intention, remembering the core teachings every day, that helps radiate all of the Buddhism through my entire life, because it's every single day, and at my altar I keep it nice and clean, and then the rest of my house is nice and clean, because it's like your clean altar, and then you look next to it, if it's dirty it looks weird. So it forces you to clean your whole house. And I think when you take time cleaning your house too, it starts to make you respect your belongings more and your living space more, which in turn makes you respect everything more, including other people. And that was my daily recitation practice also helped me to get a lot more compassion for other people. Like when I was having troubles at my job with my boss and my mom, when I first started to do daily practice, I noticed my troubles were getting smaller and smaller, and my joy was getting bigger and bigger. So I kept going, and that's been the biggest joy for me. Like with my mom, for example, we always had trouble growing up, butting heads a lot. And by practicing recitation and respecting my ancestors and where I come from, it made me respect my mom more. Even though I don't always agree with her, it just showed me that she's also a living person with feelings. Even if she weren't my mom, there's a certain degree of respect I should show her just as a person. And that's what reading and getting familiar by chanting has helped me do. So I'm very thankful to Rissho Kosei-kai, like you know. I tell you all the time.
I hear that all the time.
But there is one moment too. Being back here in the Chicago building, I remember I was sitting doing chanting practice, and all of a sudden, like a burnt image into my eyes, I saw a Buddha standing with a sash, like right here. And it was really beautiful to witness that. And I remember when I was chanting, I started tearing up because I felt so grateful that I could experience such beauty just by being part of Rissho Kosei-kai. I think it was during chapter 16. I wasn't expecting anything special to happen because it was just any other Sunday. And I didn't tell anyone about it, except maybe I told Jim, my husband. But I didn't tell anyone what I experienced because it seems kind of crazy or something, like similar to the water cup going lower. Every day I would fill up my offering cup for water at the same point, slightly above the image on the cup. And I got so used to filling it to the same point, it was second nature. Every single day I fill it to the same point. Well, one day I was chanting in the afternoon or the evening, and it was a really nice session. I read the whole Kyoten, and I did all the chapters. And after I was done chanting, I went to look at my offering cup, and there was like an inch or half an inch of water missing from the cup. And I really took that to be either the Buddha, my ancestors, Founder Niwano, any number of people could have came while I'm chanting and drank that water. And I sincerely believe that I filled the water to the correct point and that it was lower when I was done. I sincerely believe that.
How did that make you feel?
It made me feel amazing because it felt like not only am I practicing something that's real and that's leading me to the truth of the world and enlightenment, hopefully, but also it made me so happy that my recitation and chanting was so nice to my ancestors or whoever that they actually, like kind of left that as a gift for me to discover. So it made me feel reassured that I'm on the right path, even though sometimes things are very challenging. Little moments like that reassure me that practicing and hanging out with you guys and everybody, it's just all worth it, even through the hard times.
In the history of Rissho Kosei-kai, especially the old narratives, like practice in the 80s and 70s, and even today as well, scientifically may be difficult to prove, think it's happening a lot, and it's leaving a lot of positive impacts on the practitioners and members of Rissho Kosei-kai's lives. You engage with the Sutra recitation practice, and your sense becomes more keen, and your awareness is the level of awareness gets deepened. So it's pretty much understandable. That's how some people are experiencing as well.
Oh, that makes me feel better and less crazy.
But why? Is a sounding crazy is something you don't like about yourself?
Yeah.
How about you, Bill? So you have a moment of joy in being a member of Rissho Kosei-kai?
I look at myself now compared to where I was a year ago, and I really feel that I am more able to bring the philosophies to mind about Buddhism, about being respectful to other people, about being present in the moment, as opposed to letting my mind wander when I'm at work and not wanting to be there, or getting frustrated in traffic because someone's going too slow or someone else is going too fast. And so it's really just been a steady progress of getting more and more patient and in tune with the world today. Like, I like to use traffic as an example because it's something we all have to deal with on a regular basis. So some guy cutting me off, I just have to let up on the gas or hit my brake. That's not going to have any impact on the rest of my day. But if I let that bother me, that's making the mountain out of a molehill.
Ah, I see. That makes sense. That makes sense. So the mission of Rissho Kosei-kai recently, Dr. Dominic Scriangelo, one of the international advisors of Rissho Kosei-kai, said is to transform our everyday life into Buddhist practice. That's a pretty nice definition.
Yeah.
I liked it. Yeah. Today is the ceremony for the Shakyamuni Buddha's birthday. In order to be a Buddha, you don't have to be born as someone special. Universal Buddhahood idea is expressed in the very beginning of Buddhism right there.
His message was for everyone, and that's one of the things I really like about the teachings of the Buddha as well, is it's for everyone. And you mentioned how Buddha was born a man and he achieved enlightenment as a man. And I don't use man as gender, but just as a human being, which means that if he could do it, I can do it. You can do it. Jen can do it. You can do it.
Right. That's the point. That's the point.
Yeah. You don't have to be special to find peace and tranquility and enlightenment. Like, anyone can do it.
Right. This is a conversation to celebrate Shakyamuni Buddha's birthday. Now we're going to enjoy the performance by our beloved member, Nathan Gomez.
Take it away, Nathan.